What's up, sports junkies? This is Josh Taylor, host of San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans. And I think POD, they said it most: respect to earn. Chargers got to earn that respect. 8-8, 7-9 is not going to cut it anymore. New regimes in, new head coach Mike McCoy, Tom Telesco. They got a tough task. Week 1 against the Houston Texans on Monday Night Football. The Texans were first in their division last year, 12-4. Lost to New England in divisional round. Matt Schaub, Arian Foster, Andre Johnson, J.J. Watt, just to name a few, they have star power. This is going to be a tough game. The Texans were 7th in offensive yards last year, 8th in points scored at 26 a clip. Their defense was 9th in points allowed at 20.7, and they were 7th versus the run. Houston's favored by 3.5, and they should be. They're, most people will expect them to, be in contention for the AFC title and for the Super Bowl along with the Denver Broncos. As much as that hurts me to say, because I can't stand the Denver Broncos, Oakland Raiders, the Chiefs. I mean, ultimately, I want to get back to the last 5 years leading up to this three-year dip when the Chargers were, solid, constantly in the playoffs, a front runner. But you know what? I like the underdog role. I like the fact that everybody thinks that we're going to be garbage this year. I think that we're going to surprise a lot of people, in my opinion. The Chargers, on the other hand, 7-9 last year, second place, missed the playoffs for the third year in a row. They got Phillip Rivers, Ryan Matthews, Malcolm Floyd, defensive leader, and Donald Butler. The Chargers last year were 31st in yards. They were slightly better at 20th in points scored at 21.9 a game. Their defense was 16th in points allowed at 21.9 a game. But they were 6th versus the run, and that's where the Chargers are going to have to lean on defense. Their front seven, Dwight Freeney, Jarrett Johnson, Corey Liuget, Cam Thomas, Kendall Reyes, Eric Weddle, Donald Butler, eventually Matt Taiteo. These guys have to really hammer the Houston Texans. They need to apply pressure. They need to collapse the pocket. They need to shut down the running game and make them one-dimensional. And Derek Cox, Derek Cox is going to have to shut down Andre Johnson, which is going to be a tough task. He's a big receiver. Vincent Jackson type. He goes up and gets the ball. He has really good control. A la, Antonio Gates. He can really square up and get the ball. So the Chargers have their hands full, in my opinion. But again, like I said, I think the Chargers are going to surprise some people. And why not better now than in Week 1 versus the Houston Texans, who are ultimately supposed to be right up there with the big dogs fighting for the AFC title and potentially the Super Bowl. So that's starting it off. My keys to the game as far as the Chargers are concerned, they need to keep Phillip Rivers upright. He last year was sacked an AFC high 49 times. That's not going to cut it, ladies and gentlemen. This needs to improve. We need to give him more time, and I think with Mike McCoy and Wisenhunt leading the offense, I think that they're going to go with the shorter, the more intermediate route plays. They're going to mix in a lot of running game. I'm assuming there'll be some dump-offs and such. You're not going to see as much of the play action, the deep balls. Otherwise, there will be some of that mixed in. You have to keep the defense honest. But I think you're going to see a lot of, three-step drops, check downs. You're going to see a lot of Danny Woodhead this year out of the backfield. Obviously, Ryan Matthews is going to be more involved in the passing game. Who else am I thinking here? Ronnie Brown, Fozzie Whitaker. They're both going to be huge as well coming out of the backfield. Ultimately, it comes to the line. King Dunlap, DJ Fluker, backup Mike Harris. They have to protect the outside. We know what Hardwick can do in the middle. But King Dunlap, DJ Fluker, or rookie Mike Harris, a 2-year man, they need to shore up that outside and keep that J.J. Watt from getting to the quarterback, and it's going to be a tough task. They really need to be able to shine against him. He was the NFL sack leader last year, like earlier. I said 20 and a half sacks. He's going to be very difficult to contain. And the Chargers need to be wise. Phillip Rivers needs to be wise. He needs to realize where J.J. Watt is at all times. This guy swats balls down at a numerous rate, an astronomical rate. And, Rivers needs to know where he's at. Rivers needs to, throw the ball to the other side. A lot of people are saying we need to run at J.J. Watt. We need to tire him out. We need to wear him out. Just run the ball at him. And I'm not against that. I mean, obviously, early on, he's probably going to dominate. But if we can wear it down, keep the game close, third, fourth quarter, you start gassing their offensive line, and it opens up for bigger plays. And that all leads to the up-tempo offense that they're trying to incorporate here. Like I said, the short to intermediate passing game. Running back by committee, led by Ryan Matthews, who's coming off of, two injuries to his collarbones. He needs to have a big year this year, and I think the offensive line will help. DJ Fluker is great at run blocking. I think, again, that's another reason why the Chargers want to try to establish the run, as DJ Fluker can, push the pile. He's a big boy. We're talking, 6'7", 360 pounds, and he is muscular. This guy can really move the pocket. I think he can open some holes for Matthews. Obviously, you're also going to have Danny Woodhead back there, who obviously made a name for himself for the most part with the Patriots. He's a good guy in the open. He's a good pass blocker. You're also going to have your Ronnie Browns, your Fozzie Whitaker's out there. Special teams needs to step it up. Chargers, after they cut it to their 53-man roster, they went out and picked up some guys immediately the next day. That Sunday, they picked up 3 guys from around the league, and they knew that the special teams depth-wise wasn't there. They needed to step up their game. Special teams is huge, especially in a game like this. They need to shorten the field for the Chargers' sake. If we can have the ball at the 35-yard line instead of the 20-yard line, that's going to make a huge difference. Also, pinning Houston way back inside the 20 is going to be a huge difference. And, Fozzie Whitaker looks like to be our return man, and I think he's proven at the collegiate level that he can do it. It's yet to be seen at the NFL level, but I like his skills. He's hard to bring down. He's quick. He can hide behind people. So I think Whitaker and company, if they can, get us that edge in the special teams, we can limit the turnovers, the block kicks, fumbles, etc. I think the Chargers will be all right. Obviously, the defense, we need to contain them. We need to get pressure on Schaub. Dwight Freeney, Jarrett Johnson, those are our leaders. They're our veteran leaders. And they need to lead by example, and they need to get to the quarterback. They need to tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Inside with Corey Liuget, Cam Thomas, Kendall Reyes. These guys need to clog up the holes, prevent Arian Foster from breaking off big runs. He was a little injured last year, and I think if we can shut down the running game, the Chargers are going to have a lot better chance to pull a win out in Week 1. Derek Cox, need I say more? You have the biggest challenge in shutting down Andre Johnson. It needs to be a blanket party. Derek needs to shut him down. He needs help from Weddle. If we can limit his possessions, you're not going to shut him out. But if you can limit his possessions, limit the big plays, again, I think the Chargers do have a chance in this one. The biggest contributors, in my opinion, are going to be Eric Weddle and Donald Butler. They shore up the middle of the field. They're the playmakers. Time and time again, Eric Weddle and Donald Butler's name has been called and will be called. They have to have a huge game. I expect our defense to have a couple turnovers, and in my opinion, if we can get those couple turnovers, it's going to look good for our Bolts. On the injury report, the Bolts, Matt Te'o, looks like he's going to be out for this one. Probably more of a precautionary measure. I don't think it's anything serious, but he's missed a lot of practice time, a lot of game time. We're playing a tough team. We need some veterans out there, people with experience. So Manti Te'o is going to be setting this one out. As far as the Texans, Ed Reed looks like he is doubtful. He's a game-time decision. He's coming off a hip surgery. That will be huge for the Chargers if Ed Reed isn't on the field. Whether he's at 100% or not, Ed Reed being on the field, he's a playmaker. He's a leader. And I think if the Chargers are lucky enough to not see him suited up on Monday night, I think it's all the best for our Bolts. We're on to our Bolt prediction. So our San Diego Sports Junkies Bolt prediction, it's a home game, wide out. Chargers are 4-0 versus the Texans. But if I'm a betting man, my money's on the Texans. The Texans are a tough component. They have a lot of things that we need to shut down. Obviously, we need to shut down Aaron Foster. We need to shut down Arian Johnson. And we need to prevent J.J. Watt from getting to Phillip Rivers. That's 3 tough tasks. But you know what? My heart says Bolts win in a nail-biter 24-21, and go 1-0. I really believe that. I think that Eric Weddle and Donald Butler are going to be the key to this game. They're going to cause the turnovers. They're going to put us in a position to, get that field goal late and take this one. So, as I said it, you heard it here first. Chargers 1-0, 24-21 victory over the Houston Texans. And all these naysayers can just shove it. So, guys, I thank you for listening into San Diego Sports Junkies. We're brought to you by SK Digital Imaging. Sean K. over at SK Digital is a good man. You need your postcards, your business cards, and more. Give Sean a shout out. skdigital.net. Guys, this is San Diego Sports Junkies. We are signing out. Go Bolts! Lights!